everybody agree with the code and the energy one and of course the plan one? Because I know that that's something that's on the test as well. Is there anything else anybody can think of as far as training wise?
Maybe you can repeat the plan later, because if you're going to do it in May, I hope you repeat it later.
Okay, and we can do that. We can do that. That's not a problem.
For those that couldn't not go.
And that's, yeah. Or we could, I mean, if maybe just this one, we just have our annual meeting, and then maybe at the next meeting, we do the training. I mean, how does that sound to everybody?
Yeah,
So
when you're saying that meeting in May, you're talking about the Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
Right,
Myrtle
that's the
Beach
annual
one.
conference that we have, right.
Yeah. I mean, but that's excellent. That's, you know, for those that can't be there. Because that, I know that that's probably one of the hardest parts for a lot of people is the plan part.
And if y'all can, you know, I mean, I know that, how do I say this? I know there's budget cuts across the board because you know, my municipality is, you know, going through it as well. But our annual conference in May, that's when all the officers are elected. So if you can, you know, just kind of, you know, talk with your building official and just let them know that that annual conference is really one of the major ones that we need the most members there that can attend, so that so that everybody can participate in possibly, you know, changing up the board, you know, and putting new members on, because we're only going to be able to draw from the ones that have been able to be active. And, you know, we need that, you know, we just really need the most members that can be there, you know, so that we can, you know, have more members to draw from for the election, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving the time a little later is good, because like for us, it's like 3 hours, so I always drive up and then drive back afterwards. But spending the night and getting that extra money is a little harder.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
And also, you know, I can also talk with, or you can talk with Bruce, and he can, you know, kind of just encourage the building officials, you know, again, to reiterate that, you know, the importance of, you know,
Of that annual meeting.
the annual meeting.
Yeah.
I know that everybody wants to attend, you know, as many other meetings as they can. By all means, I'm not trying to slight those meetings of importance, but that annual conference meeting where all the officers are being reelected or elected, and you're going through that, that's when really we need to push to have the majority of our members there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's the other thing too, you know, the more participation and stuff that we get, and the more people that we have, the more new ideas that we get,
Right.
and the better off the organization's going to be. And I mean, you make a very valid point with the annual meeting, because if it's always the same people going to the annual meeting, it's always going to be the same people who get elected. It's
And
always going to be
really,
the
and
same
truthfully,
people
I think
in
that
those portions.
if I'm not mistaken, and I may be wrong, because this is the first time I've ever been involved in an organization, so as far as what the bylaws state, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the current board members have already served 2 terms, correct? So that
Except for Neva.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
Neva's the only one that, yeah.
we're going to have all new officers elected at this election, you know, at the annual conference.
So you can't just do a different job. You're not.
No, you can do a different job.
different job.
You can do a
just
different
can't
job,
serve.
but you can't do the same position.
Right, right.
So, I mean, but see, that's the thing, it'll always be the same people.
And the same ideas, and, you know, the more new people we have involved, the better the organization is going to be, because, you know, they're going to come up with new ideas and everything, you know, and
Yeah.
so we kind of, you know, the more participation, again, the more, because we've got, you know, unfortunately, even the committees where there aren't any elections required, we've had a little bit of a hesitancy of being able to be involved, even on the volunteer committees.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, the organization is going to be the best it can be with the participation and the fresh ideas from everybody, you know, not just the committee members and not just the board, but everyone. So just, you know, think about that.
And then also, the annual meetings when you have to pay your dues and everything. And as you saw, I've only gotten in 2 sets of dues. The other one was the one I received from you that hasn't been put in yet.
Okay.
But just, you know, keep in mind that that's coming up. And I plan to send an email out, of course, before the May meeting and send everybody the information again. But that's coming up again as far as membership and everything, and
Does
that's all.
something come out in the mail? Or?
No, I'll send it via email.
'Cause I think we're building an official page.
Or actually, we can even post it on the webpage
Yeah, we
too,
can
so
do
that
that,
everybody
too.
can find it.
Set up PayPal.
Yeah.
Neva, what's the exact website address?
It's www.scpta.webs, it's wevs.com.
Webs, WBS?
WEV.
V as in
Yes.
Victor.
D?
Oh,
okay,
V.
wait, okay, W?
No, it's
It sounds like you're saying V.
Yes,
it's
V as in
like
boy.
like web.
Web,
V as in
okay.
boy, yeah,
Yeah.
webs.com.
SCPTA WEVS, and then what?
.com. Yeah. It was just so webs.com is a site that lets you put free websites up. We don't have to pay anything.
Right.
So if we ever, wanted to, we could get a real web address that you'd pay a small fee for every year, but for now it was
Oh,
free.
yeah.
So
Nothing wrong with that.
Every penny we save can be used towards something else, so.
And then, so as far as the training goes, planning code, energy codes, for the time being, do we want to just leave it at that and we make the right connections to get that set up for the next meetings that we have?
And I think we need to add the permit tech,
Oh,
for the
that's
test,
right, yeah. Thank you.
Again,
That's the one I
too,
forgot.
that way for
Yeah,
the members that,
good refresher,
right.
even if one.
Oh, yeah, because when the code changes, it's,
Well,
it's good to.
Well, now the testing is 2009 code,
Oh,
isn't
is
it?
it?
I think it's 9.
even on the permit tech?
Mm-hmm. I
It's
think
the
so.
9 that they're testing on.
Because I was destined to pass mine before they changed
Right.
that, and thank God it happened. So, but anyhow, that's why I didn't want to have to learn or review the 09 material.
Well, and not only that, I really want to ask John if
I know.
he can specifically target what was changed within the permit tech. And, I mean, he can still go over, generally what was on the other ones, but really point out what
the big changes are
right,
that
what the
could
changes
really-
were,
yeah.
if any on the permit tech. Because he was saying the last time I spoke with him, he wasn't sure how much dealing with the permit tech side was going to change.
Mhm.
And so that was something that he was going to check into.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got permit tech, plan, code, energy, the energy code. Can I get a motion? Does everybody's good with those, right? Okay. Can I get a motion to accept for those training courses?
I'll motion.
Okay. All right, so we'll get those set up for, now, we've got it set for the annual meeting. What do we want to do about the other 2 meetings that we have to have? Do we want to wait until the annual meeting and then get that set up as far as the dates? Or do y'all want to go ahead and talk over some dates now and times for the next meeting?
I think we should do it at the annual, just kind of
Okay.
play it by ear, because
Okay.
it's obvious there ain't too many of us here today. Let's see what
And
our
would the
turnout
new
has
officers not be
been.
responsible for that
Mhm.
anyway, because the meetings would be after the election?
The elections,
So I
yeah.
think, I'm with you, I think that
Is there usually a lot that come to the annual? Like more than today?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think our biggest turnout was that meeting up in Columbia when Mr. Wiggins
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
With all of them.
that room
the
was
biggest
packed.
turnout.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never seen a turnout for our association like that since.
And I think we had a good turnout too when John cooked.
Mhm.
John England put on a training too.
That was also in Columbia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Columbia's a spot, I'm telling you.
Be quiet back there.
All right.
Okay, now, is there anything else that anybody wants to go over? Any concerns, anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to, one question about the conference. How many people are actually gonna try to stay and attend the building officials training? I mean, do people actually do that, or?
Yeah,
I don't.
there are
I
people
don't
that
either.
do.
They
I
won't
gotta
pay
be
for
back
me.
in the office, so.
Yeah,
Well, again, like I said, get Bruce to crack that whip and everything. Nothing benefits.
Like I was
no
telling you guys
benefits.
earlier.
Well,
Watch
those
out, you're
building
gonna get hit with
officials,
something.
because truthfully, your building official is gonna be your person, for each municipality, to be able to get the funds, again, I understand, because we're all in that same boat with the budget like it is, but, in order to be able to make the organization, more, every year, it's gonna be the participation and, I think the building official's getting on, understanding that, for it to be anything more than what it is, and it's growing in baby steps, and, that's just
But
the way it's.
sometimes it's not funding, like I told you guys earlier.
Oh, coverage
It's
for the office.
just him
Yeah.
and his clerk.
Right.
So they both can't be out of the
Last all week?
office,
And we have had to
I think
alternate.
it's 3 days, isn't it, or is it all week?
Like it'd be Saturday,
It's
Sunday.
like about 3 or 4 days.
3 days,
Mhm.
isn't
It carries them to like
Yeah, and you
Wednesday
don't
or
have to
Thursday.
attend the
or
whole
something.
conference. If there's a particular, training that you're wanting to go to and stuff, you can, if you're not able to stay, if it's feasible, to be able to drive up for the day and then drive back, if that training class is something that you, really are interested in doing. I mean,
Yeah,
Well, I
and
know they've
last
done
year they had
energy
some
codes
really
for
good
like
ones.
our inspectors, plan reviewers and stuff. I mean, I wasn't involved or I didn't attend, and that's why I think that would be good for us. Cause
Well, if we attend those classes, do we have to sign up for their conference as well and pay their conference fee, or?
I think last year, because y'all were a newer organization, it was kind of, y'all, if you can come,
Free,
come.
yeah.
We talked about it this morning, and they're looking at maybe having some type of fee, and it's just to cover some of our costs, but.
And
I
what we
think
can,
we just need to market it as far as,
Yeah.
what the training's gonna be.
Exactly,
what
and we
the
can get
days
that.
are,
do you
what
guys
the
have an
cost is.
agenda
do
for
you
your
guys have
main
an
meeting
agenda
already?
for that?
They have agenda that's
Right there,
not
Tara.
quite completed, but it
Still on the
was,
work, but-
it was
Okay.
said in the meeting this morning that once it's completed, which should be this week, they were gonna get with y'all and mail it to everybody, email it to everybody in
Okay.
y'all's organization.
Great.
And it's also, will be on our website, our BOSA website also.
Okay,
Can we look at maybe doing some kind of mailing to the building official?
Sure.
That would, something they could hold in their, I mean, I don't know about y'all's, but something they could hold in their hand and see that, oh yes, this training does give us our hour, time, and that way,
She knows, I was telling her, so-
it would maybe see,
I'll tell my
letting us
boss.
see how important it would be for us to be able to.
okay, and we can definitely do that. I mean, if that's gonna help you all be able to come, them having something in their hands stating that, look, here's what's gonna happen, and here's what they need, and,
Even
we
an
can
email.
do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that, that's,
Mail out.
I mean, that's not a problem.
I wanted to backtrack just a second on the training. I thought the one thing that's good is I guess it's the contractors board, that, how we had in October. I know when I went to John England's and we did, one whole day was all the contractors' licenses and all that was usually interesting, a refresher. Because everybody
Yeah.
is different, what they can do and can't do, and
well, even the manufactured homes and stuff, the gentleman that spoke in reference to that, I'm terrible again with names.
we can do that again later or something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's.
The contractor's license versus
Yeah.
specialty. Well, no, we didn't have the residential one there, so it'd be good to have them.
Right.
We only had the commercial side, I think, in October.
Yeah, because the gentleman, for some reason, wasn't able to make
Right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of people are confused on the specialty and the residential.
And I know we had discussed too, now that you bring that up, floodplain, with FEMA.
Yeah,
I know we
that
had
would be good
discussed,
at
yeah.
FEMA, because we
We had discussed that too, as far as
we're all on
FEMA.
flood where we are. So.
And I know that, I think the meeting that Gary was, or Gary was at, Gary Wiggins, I know that I think the representative from FEMA happened to be there too at our meeting. She didn't speak, but
No, I think it was Department of Natural Resources or something was there, wasn't it?
No, I think the
Yeah.
floodplain,
I
like,
think
They
I
it
were
was
there
Florida,
too?
yeah, her
I have a
FEMA.
card from that, and I think it was, yeah, I think she was there.
Which one was DNR at?
I don't
Wasn't it
remember
somebody
anyone
there
being
from
DNR.
Isn't it Department of Natural Resource? I don't know.
They're a big tie-in with floodplain and
Okay.
stuff people.
Oh,
So
okay, so that might,
You'll see
it may
them in a
possibly
lot of
be on our
meetings, yeah.
card also, yeah.
A
Just
lot of our flood questions
something
go to
as
the
simple as how
DNR.
to read,
Oh,
how
do
to
they?
check the flood elevation certificate,
Yeah.
make sure it's filled out
Oh, yeah.
properly.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, that would be good,
Mhm.
because we don't use it every day.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you're
we-
used to looking at them, that's okay.
Mhm.
But,
You said something about manufactured homes,
Mhm.
like words about somebody coming.
Yeah, there was,
Talk to us about
there was the gentleman that is with the Manufactured Home Board. He came and actually spoke with the, whenever the commercial,
last meeting,
yeah.
Oh.
And he was very informative, I thought, and everything. He,
Yeah.
you know, he broke everything down with, you know, as far as for permitting purposes, the difference between an installer's license and the dealer's you know, and all that, and who can
And then
pull what
repair.
with
See,
those
that would have
specific
been
license.
good to attend, because I know we had an issue